Hey all, this is David Ducker coming back at you, and today I'm going to be talking about backstories. There was a big debate on the YouTube RPG Brigade Facebook page forum. This big word here, big title for that. There's a big debate. I had posted up an example of one of my character backstories because I was coming into a Numenera game. I sent the backstory to the GM. I thought I'd share it with the forum as well. Because I did my video on my generic character sheets, which is how I record my backstory, but I thought a visual representation would be nice for everybody as well. And I got back a lot of conflicting comments. I got a lot of people saying, wow, that's way too much backstory. Nobody's going to read that. It's you're never going to address all those points. And then I got a lot of people saying that's not nearly enough backstory. You've missed out on so much of your character's history, and you didn't include this and this and this. And I think I wrote about 400 words. And some people are saying now you only need like 40 words. And then some people are saying, I wrote backstories that had 40,000 words. They wrote, small novellas for their backstory. So that led to another thread in the forum just about backstories. And Runeslinger Casting Shadows posted up a great video about backstories, to which I left about 5 or 10 different comments in his comment section of the video. So you could check that out as a counterpoint to this video. I tried recording this video and stating his perspective and then contrasting my perspective. It was too much work. It didn't come off the way in a way that I enjoyed. It felt awkward to try to give his perspective because I'm such a intense individual. I come from a debate club background, so it's my natural tendency to just downplay anything anybody else says that's in contrast to my own opinion. So rather than kind of bash him passive-aggressively, I'm going to bash him aggressively, the way I always do. But I encourage you all to actually check out his video and you do the contrast for yourself. And hopefully he'll leave a comment so you can find him. His channel again is Runeslinger Casting Shadows. But I'm just going to go through and talk about how I do backstories. So first thing on a backstory, I pull up my generic character sheet. I use this character sheet for every campaign, for every character I build, regardless of rule set. And I've done a whole video on that and that concept as well, which I'm sure you can find on my channel. If you found this video, you can find that video. So my generic character sheet, it has appearance, personality, history, goals, and could add in optionally tactics and relationships and plot hooks as well. So I move through, I fill all of this out. So I start by picturing what he looks like in my mind. That's the appearance section. How I'm going to role play him. Mark that for my personality section. And then move into his history. This is the main section. This is where the main body is going to be. So, I'll try to move through his history right from his origins, so his parents, his society, his culture, the geography there, the religion there. So we'll start with that. And sometimes this can be easy. It can be like, oh, we're playing within the Ring of Fire. So I'm going to be a Via Gish from the Cold Cavern, or maybe from Cold Harbor. I'm going to be Via Gish from the Cold Harbor, and I'm going to be from this clan. And I can't remember what the clan names are off the top of my head. But that might be it. Like, just by saying my race and my culture, it might already be in the book. So I don't actually have to describe any of that in my backstory. If I'm doing something homebrew, this will obviously make it larger. and then I'll list out my specific parents and teachers, and family, just extended family and friends as well, if they're important. And this gives the NPC more, could give them more people to work with for sure, and it could give them more places, organizations, and cultures and races to work with as well if I'm doing this homebrew. So I'll make up my history from there, from young adulthood, and then I'll start moving forward. I'll say, okay, here's his childhood, young adulthood, teenage years, adult years, and then could go into middle age, old age. You know, I've got a couple, well, I've only got one character off the top of my head I want to play who's a senior citizen, but I do have one. So for him, you know, a lot of the really important, exciting stuff, he'll view that as in the past. So he's just kind of in his retirement, and he's not expected to do anything really important or vital with his life anymore. He's just kind of meddling. He's keeping his finger involved in politics and in whatever the main plot line is going to be. But he thinks his best days are past. He's a mentor figure, you know, a scheming mentor figure. So the backstory could be quite extensive if he's very old or if he's done a lot. Some characters, you know, he might be young, or maybe he just didn't do a lot. You know, he could even be old, but he's still never done a lot. You know, he went to work every day of his life, working in a forge, let's say. He's a dwarf, and he ascended to old age, and he's never really accomplished anything beyond the scope of his craft. Inside of his craft, he could be enormous, but that doesn't make for very exciting reading. So I'll mark down his history, and then I'll move forward to his goals. Where does he want to go in the future? What is he going to try to do? So for this dwarf, maybe he decides he's been in the forge his whole life. He wants to go and achieve a victory in battle. You know, before he dies, he wants to be a victor in a battle. He wants to win or struggle in physical combat. Or maybe he wants to die, and that's why he's seeking out this battle, because he thinks he's too old to be productive, and now he needs to go find a good death so that he can get out of the way for the next generation. Or with this old goblin character of mine, you know, he's retired, and he just wants to enjoy his retirement and kind of, you know, leave a little bit of a legacy, but he's pretty happy with all the legacy he's already left back in the Goblin Kingdoms. So he's mainly just trying to enjoy himself in retirement and keep himself busy with some more adventuring. Whatever it is. And some people have loftier goals than others, obviously. You know, I always recommend to players, make your goals as big as possible and do them step by step, you know. Oh, I have a goal to become a knight. I have a goal also, though, I want to become a baron, a count, a duke, a king. I want to ascend to godhood. And just slowly start working your way up the ladder of your goals. Because I think we've all seen a character who comes in and his goals are so shallow that he achieves them very quickly, and then he has no reason to continue adventuring. He just retires. That character's retired. He achieved his goal. So set your goals lofty enough that you can keep playing with this character almost indefinitely. So make them ambitious, and they'll drive the plot forward. That'll take pressure off the GM. He won't have to drive the plot because you are. And all of these goals are essentially plot hooks for him. And I line up the plot hooks separately, even. I'll go through my own backstory and pick out all my plot hooks. And then give those to the GM. So the Goblin character, for example, he has many children and grandchildren. And they're kind of scheming to assassinate him, because that's just what they do in the Goblin Kingdom. So that's a big plot hook. My family is trying to assassinate me. Huge plot hook there. The GM can have all these different family members come out of the woodwork, sending assassins. I don't know which ones really might be loyal to me and which ones really do want to kill me. With the dwarf character, perhaps one of the first blades he forged was commissioned by a dwarf-hold king, and it broke in battle. The blade snapped in half, and the king blames me so that the craftsmanship was shoddy. And to a human being, this probably wouldn't be an issue. But to a dwarf, this is a huge issue. I sold him inferior weaponry, so either I'm incompetent or it's an act of malice on my part. And even though this happened 50 years ago, dwarfs hold grudges forever. So that dwarf king could be coming after me to try and put me down, and try to assassinate me by poison before I can fight in a battle, because he knows that's what I want to do. So he doesn't want me to fight that battle. He wants me to just die in my sleep. That way I can't go to Valhalla. So that could be a really interesting plot hook for the dwarf character, for example. And the same thing with relationships. All the relationships can spawn plot hooks. You got mentors. They might need your help. If you've mentored someone, they might need your help as well. So you don't just have to be individuals trying to kill you. It can be people who need your assistance in some way. It could be financial, it could be in battle, it could be wisdom that they need from you. It could be that one of your allies, they need their help, so they have to use you as a go-between. And trying to think, going through from there, I think that's about, tactics. This is not important for every character. It's mainly important for fighting characters, for fighters. Describe their fighting style, what they do in battle. Some wizards or priests will need this as well. Even a rogue or burglar type character. Not every character will need this, and but it can be a lot of fun. Megan, I'm going to keep coming back to her example every time I mention fighting styles, because I'm so proud of her. She's made her character for my Return of the Runefangs game, Princess Camilla Valise of Estalia, and she's got this great fighting style with a rapier and buckler, where she distracts people with the rapier so that she can smash them with the buckler and kick them and trip them with her legs. So the rapier is completely distraction. Every other part of her body is a weapon, except the rapier. And it's a great fighting style. You know, one guy she tripped. They were fighting in the sewers. She distracted him with the rapier, and she just tripped him. And he fell into the fetid sewer water, and she just stepped down on his head and just stood on his head, and he drowned in the sewer water. So she didn't really need any weapons at all to fight him. So your fighting style is a great way to differentiate you. Two guys with the exact same weapon can be completely different in their fighting style. And they should be. Unless they're from the same fighting school. You know, if they're both from the Stallion Diestro school of fencing, their fighting styles should be identical. But if they're from rival schools, then they'll be completely different. In my Legends of the Seven Sands game, there were two main fencing styles. There was the low cobra style, and they'd hold their sword low, sweeping out behind them like a serpent's tail. And then there was the high scorpion style, and they'd hold their sword above their head, pointing forward like a scorpion's tail. And their styles were very different, with the scorpion style being more about slow prodding, jabs, very important for distance, kind of death of 1,000 cuts, and they're very, very quick. Whereas the Cobra school is all about positioning, tactics, biding your time, waiting for that one perfect moment to decapitate them with a coup de grace. So you got slow versus fast. You've got weak versus strong. You've got law and tactics and strategy versus fury and chaos and continual movement. So these two fencing schools, you know, continuously oppose each other, and it could be a great way to show off the personality of your character as well. Because obviously one school of fencing, you know, the low cobra style, is going to appeal to more lawful, more powerful characters, and the high Scorpion style is going to appeal to more chaotic and more quick and agile characters. So your tactics can be a great tool, especially for fighters, to differentiate you from everyone else. So that's pretty much how I do my backstories. And, I award XP for every single plot hook a player provides me, which can vary wildly. James's character in Return of the Runefangs, I think he ended up with about 50 experience points for his backstory, whereas Megan came in and she was at about 150, so 3 times as much as James. They both made excellent characters. It's just Megan gave me more to work with than James did. And same thing in the game, during play. Again, I provide XP for every plot hook you give me, or for every twist in an existing plot, or for every time your life is in mortal danger. So that would be combat. That would be your combat XP. If you're not in danger, you don't get any XP though. So, I encourage my characters to give me, my players to give me backstory. And this comes to the reason why backstory is important. Because up till now, I just been repeating my generic character sheet video. And I love to repeat myself because if you say the exact same thing in 2 different ways, you're exposing yourself that more people could actually understand what you're trying to say. So that's always good to repeat yourself in a new way. The real heart of the debate, though, was why our backstory is important. And the reason, to me, backstories are important is because they're your #1 tool to help your GM, to give him plot hooks, to build the world so that he doesn't have to do everything by himself. Because if you're doing that, if everything's coming from him, first of all, he's going to be burned out quicker. And second of all, it's all going to be written by one guy. If you don't like his writing style, then you're going to be in a world of hurt getting through his campaign. And also the quality and the volume are both going to suffer as well. One guy can only write so much. If you got 7 guys writing, you're going to write 7 times as much, approximately. And also, like I said, the quality, if you got 7 different people writing versus 1, 2 of them might be great writers, and the other 5 might not be so great. But even a bad writer will have a few good ideas, and even a great writer will have a few bad ideas. You can believe that with your mind. But again, to the writing style, I hate Rick's writing style. I'm sorry, Rick, if you're watching this. Very little of what he writes appeals to me. I'm sure it appeals to a lot of people. It's just I'm not one of them. The same thing with Josh Pullman. A lot of his background, and he's the MVP of the Kitchener scene, but a lot of his writing just doesn't appeal to me. So if he's my GM, I'm not going to enjoy his game. If Rick's my GM, I'm not going to enjoy his game as much as I would with someone else. To contrast, Aaron, who's compared to Josh, his playing skills are a little weaker, but I love his writing style. So Aaron, some of his character backgrounds are so good to me that I could run a whole campaign around that. If Aaron's my GM, I'm like, well, I'm going to really enjoy what he's actually written. So one way to avoid this concept of only having one writer is to get your players to help you. Because if now we've got Josh, Big Daddy Rick, Aaron, and myself all in a game, and let's say Tyson is our GM, I'm going to enjoy all the things that Aaron has written, that he's given to Tyson. I'm not going to enjoy necessarily the things Josh and Rick have given to Tyson. And then the stuff Tyson himself has written, maybe that's neutral. Maybe everybody kind of enjoys it. So, right there, I've got so many more options of styles in the game. You know, Aaron's got his adventure style. Josh has his very insular kind of romantic style. Rick has his very intellectual, analytical style. You know, and they'll all come up with very different kinds of stories. If we've got all of those different kinds of stories in the same world, it's just going to appeal to more people. So that's really the main reason backstories are important. You can contribute. You can leave your mark. You can add a culture into the game. Or you can add a storyline into the game that other people might enjoy. So, I mean, that's huge for you. You know, Aaron wrote a whole culture and civilization, a hometown for himself, and I threw that right into the game in Legends of the Seven Sands. We got to visit it and interact with it and explore it, and you know, Aaron was having a great time with that, and so was I, and everybody enjoyed it. And if Aaron hadn't given me such a good backstory, we would have missed out on a great adventure and all those great storylines. And they would have had to just deal with what I had written for them. So, you know, that's the main reason. I mean, also, like I said, it prevents GM burnout if everyone is helping the GM. But also, you get to leave your mark creatively. So, to me, that's why backstories are important. Is helping the GM, which is just polite, in my opinion. If you're not helping the GM, you're being very rude, in my estimation. And that you can contribute to the world. Leave your own creative stamp on it. So that's the important part of the video. All the other stuff about how I do it, I already covered that in another video. The important thing is why you do it. Why you would want to come in and do this writing. So I think that's my video. You can contrast that against Runeslinger Casting Shadows, or perhaps share your own video. Please do share comments below how you do backstories, why they're important, how long is too long. Big Daddy Rick writes extensive backstories, and I don't like his writing style. So some of those, I wouldn't say they're too long, but they are fairly long to me. To contrast, though, Aaron writes one that's almost as long, and I love that, just because I like his style better. And then, you know, same thing. Like Josh usually writes his very short, and I don't like his style. But then you could get James. James writes them pretty short, but they are very good. So I'd love to hear your comments, your opinions. What's the longest backstory you've written? What's the shortest one? I think that's about it for my backstory video. So I'm going to be getting back to you. I'm sorry if it's dark. It started raining next to me, so I'm going to have to hook up some lighting. Some lighting in here. But for right now, I'm just going to say toodaloo to all of you in YouTube land.